Hello everyone, to people just joining, to people who have been waiting, and to everyone watching things back on the VOD, whether it's here on Twitch or on YouTube, depending on when you're watching this. Hello, welcome to another stream, and welcome back to Game Dev Sunday. I also need to get all of my other bits open, so I need to open Rider first things first. Sorry. And I also need to open Clip Studio. Because I had completely forgotten to do those beforehand. Silly me. But hello, welcome back. So in terms of what we did last week, we mainly focused on getting like the actual like we were getting like the basic UI all sorted out, and most of or parts of how it works or how it should function sorted. And the one thing I was concerned about was how the hell are we going to get initial values for the UI? And then I realized there's already a thing that is done where it broadcasts the initial values to the UI when like the game starts and whatnot. So we just do that, and then whenever like there's an update for the max health or the player's current health and whatnot, it just does that. So we can kind of sort of go into this just sorting that bit out in it's like basically just finishing that bit off, because that's just relatively simple. So sorry. Right. Okay. So we were in blueprints, widgets, HUD. Oh wait, that's not it. Overlay. Oh wait, no, it was health. It was health. Specifically for this one, it was health. Right. And I believe I should still have like screenshots and stuff from last week, or I might be entirely wrong. I'm entirely wrong. Okay, so we set max health to be the new max health. This is the one thing we need to do as well from here. And then I believe, because we don't need these print statements anymore, because we were using these last week to just see whether or not like this was happening when like the player was getting hurt and whatnot, and it was also doing it during the start of the like when we start playing, when like the broadcast initial values method is called. So yes, so we set health, we set max health, and then what we do is actually, I may need to actually also look at that other project again, like I was doing last week, because I need to double check, because I know for a fact that part of what we do when we have either value set is that we perform a safe divide to get whatever like percentage or decimal that we need to set the fill the fill percent of that health progress bar to. Right. Ah, there we go. getting a nice little thing. So set progress bar percent. Update. Oh wait, that's not. Right. So, ouch. Right. So looking at health, or looking at health and max health. Right. I was right. We do a safe divide with health and max health, and then we set the percent for the progress bar. So, go back into the normal project. So I was just doing that. Right, cool. So we set these, then we do safe. Whoops. Safe divide. And I'll need it up here and down here. And then we take health. To be fair, I could have done like the safe divide like with like one set of values and then copied and pasted it and just not had to reconnect the different nodes again. So, small lesson learned, but we perform a safe divide. If the denominator, if we're trying to divide by 0, then it will just automatically return 0. And the reason why it does this is because if you know what happens when you try to divide by 0, then, well, yeah, it essentially does this to avoid like fatal errors and crashing and stuff. So this will just safely return 0 if it is 0, like it's 0 entirely. So then, to be fair, I should have this other project open on my other monitor just so I can, like, look between the two. So I believe I need a function specifically made for this, and this is going to be set health bar percent. And this is where I start talking crazy talk about needing a third monitor that I somehow shove on top of my first or second one, and I don't really need that. That's just me being crazy. If I wasn't crazy enough already. So what I would want, don't need a local variable, but I do need a boolean. So health bar initialized. So, or B health bar initialized. So we get health bar initialized. We check if this is true. If this is true, then we get the, I believe this is our progress bar. Yeah, this is our progress bar. We get our progress bar, we get our health bar. And what we basically do is we set percent. And at the moment we don't have like that as a input parameter, so we create a float parameter, and simply put, we just call that new percent. because this is our new percent for for the health bar. So new percent, and then, and the neat thing you can do with a parameter is within the function that it is used for, you can just call, like, you can just write in, like, get like this parameter's variable name, and then just use it as this instead of just dragging off from that and making an absolute mess. There is another thing that I believe is also needed too. Oh, it's a custom event. No, I didn't mean to create... No, I don't mean to do this. That was wrong. That does not help. That right, so I need a custom event. Custom event. Health bar. Percent. Set. And this is called when we've done this thing up here. Health bar percent set. And that will just... From within this function, or within this method, once we've set the percent for the health, we just call this, and then and now here's the thing, if I wanted to say, like, for the health bar, if I wanted it so that, like, we have, like, a little ghost trail behind it, then I can do that. I'd essentially have to duplicate, like the actual progress, like the actual health bar progress bar, and then sort of like make it like a more faded color, if that makes sense. But that's if I wanted to do that. However, the other thing that we need to do is that at the moment we're not initializing like we haven't initialized like the health bar. So I'm gonna make a branch, and here we're going to check if our new percent that we're receiving into this function is greater than 0. Because if it is greater than 0, then of course we want to do something with it, but otherwise if it's like just less than or equal to 0, then we don't want to like initialize the health bar or do anything with it, because that would just be pointless. So we're going to set health bar initialized to be true. First things first. And I don't know why, I can't remember why we do this stuff down here without calling this method. It's kind of odd. I also need to add a an input parameter. It needs to be a float, and this will be just called percent. And being able to do this just means that I can make it as neat as possible, and, you know, not make it an absolute terrible eyesore to look at, just looking at all the connected nodes and whatnot, because otherwise that really frustrates me. So making it neat is kind of it's for my sake, but it's also for other people's sake if they ever want to sort of like look through what I've done and whatnot. So set health bar percent, and now once the safe divide has been done, or once like health or max health has been set, we do the safe divide, we pass that in as our value for set health bar percent. So I may as well just copy this function call, throw that there, and there we go. Right, so I'm hoping now, I mean, I say I'm hoping, it should work, because it is for the most part like bringing over code from another project and whatnot. But my hope is that if I've done things correctly in accordance with what I did with the project that I'd been learning from for the online course, is that this should function in the way that when the game starts, we get like the health bar all set, which that should be the case. And then if I was to have this enemy hit us, I hope. There we go! Right, we have a health bar that is now set. Whenever we take damage, it will set the percentage of the health bar. And I believe I set the health to 5? Yeah, of course there's no, like, negative percent or anything like that. Like, once it gets to 0, then it will just be 0. It won't, like, go down through the other, like, end. That's just how the progress bars widget works. Thank God. But we now have proper health. Now, one thing I do want to try, of course, is getting, like, lives sorted out too, which, of course, I was already trying to kind of do that, but at the same time, I didn't properly implement it. There's also the matter of actually getting the collectible counts and whatnot all done, because at the moment, like, sure, we have the icons representing, like, the collectibles, but we have, what is essentially just display values, if you will. Values that don't actually mean anything, merely just for the sake of displaying things on the screen. It doesn't inform the player of anything that's actually happening within, like, the moment-to-moment of the game itself. So, one thing we need to do is we need to try and sort that out as well. So, but one thing at a time. I don't want to just sort of, like, completely, like, go all in and overwhelm myself so much, because otherwise I'm going to make this unenjoyable for myself. And that's not what I want with this project. I've never wanted that with this project. Like, all I've wanted to do is just, like, have fun with this. And I've been having fun with this. It's just that I don't want to push too much, if that makes sense. So, now that we've gotten health sorted, lives are next. So I'm going to need to go into the code and see. Right. So in terms of applying the damage to the player, right, no, actually, I'm going to go back into the... Right, I don't need the other, like, the other project open anymore, because that's working. Or for the time being, at the very least, I don't need it open. There we go. Yes, I need to quickly review stuff with the projectiles, because I believe, yes, it's all handled here. So, TP damage interface. We have a damage interface specifically for this. Specifically due to the fact that it also allows us to send, like, a knockback modifier within, like, for, like, knockback calculations to affect how far a given attack or projectile or something along those lines will knock the player or the enemy back, and so on and so forth. And then, of course, we have the damage gameplay effect too. Right, I need to... I need to find... Oh, yep, no, there we go. It's an interaction. Right. I also forgot to switch things back, so within interaction, Right, we have the damage interface, and I believe we have an implementation for this within the player character, just to double check. TP player character. So the method is called damage character, right? There we go. So, to be fair, like, this method, while it's called damage character, we don't actually do any of the damaging here. We do the whole, like, applying the gameplay effect, and that's about it. So now there's the matter of whether or not this is applied to... Right, I have to reacquaint myself with things. Ability system component, effect applied. Right. So base ability system component. Right, so effect asset tags. Whoops. Right, there we go. Right. So quickly close the project. Oh wait, I need to save within the project first, because of the stuff that I moved around. Then we're going to just wait a moment. We're going to recompile, and then I'm going to just, because I need to follow things along and see where things go. I should probably also write base ability system component. So effect asset tags, effect asset tags. But I don't know where this is. I mean, aside from with... So effect applied. Effect asset tags. There is so much I need to, like, bring my brain back up to speed with. Right, so... Right, so that's ability system component found on target. Where is that being called from? Method called ASC found on target. I think... Hold on. It's within BP projectile. Add character. Apply gameplay effects to target. Oh, yep, no, it's within here. Right, cool. Now I remember. So within base projectile, apply gameplay effect to target. So A actor is the target actor, which in this case would be the player or the enemy, depending on who's the recipient of it. we get the ability system component. If the ASC is not found, then we just return. We don't do anything else with this. Then we check gameplay effect class to make sure that the effect that is applied from this object, in which case, which is a damage effect, exists or has been like populated within the blueprint. Then we get the effect context handle we make it from the ASC, and then we add this as a source object to the effect spec. So gameplay effect spec handle, we make a spec handle by creating an outgoing spec using the target ability system component. And this takes in the gameplay effect class, the level of the effect itself, because remember, gameplay effects within the gameplay ability system can have different levels, and then we take in that effect context handle that we made earlier, and then we make an active effect handle which applies, the spec to that ASC. And then once that effect is applied, that will just apply it to the ability system component. And then when that effect is applied, we just broadcast whatever happens with that effect asset tag. In this case, it would just be, applying the effect and we apply the effect, which is damaging the player, and then whatever happens with that tag, we just broadcast whatever happens then. But the main thing I am wanting to try and check is, I believe, I don't know, it might be within the attribute set itself. The TP attribute set, yep, get lifetime replicate props, on rep health. I feel like there's something I'm missing with on rep health. Hold on. Gonna need to look through the folders of the other thing. Sorry, just a moment, chat. Real projects, source, pivots, ability system, notepad. Wait a minute. I might be silly and I... Oh wait, no, that's what happens. That's what happens. Okay, right. Trying to rack my brain over all things that I have, or things I don't have. I don't think this is even called. Or if it's being called, then I can't tell. So replicate with using on rep health. No, I don't think it is. Right, if I go back into project, I'm going to keep an eye on this, because as far as I'm aware, that log is not being output into the output log, so that's kind of concerning. So if we go... So effect has been applied to entity as ASC has been found on target, but it's not... Well, of course, health is being, like, changed within the HUD, so... I believe... Wait, where is the player state? Gosh. Post initial... Oh wait, no, I remember now, because I was doing, like, the loading from the safe subsystem. Now I remember now. Right, I need to slow down and take a deep breath with this. So that's broadcast initial values for the widget controller. Right, on and health changed. Let me think. Right. So... Ow. Alright, that's what that is. Right. Okay. I'm gonna level with you. I am struggling to remember how to trace where the health has changed. It's... I know roughly whereabouts it probably would be, and it would probably be within the ability system. Either within the attribute set of the ability system component. Oh, wait, there is... Right, there are things I'm also missing in the attribute set. So, we're going to be fixing that as well. Right. I'll close all of these for the time being. Right. Attribute set H and attribute set.cpp. So, I can't remember if this is like public or protected in terms of the protection level of these methods that I need. So I need to double check. Like it's in any likely case, it's probably a protected method, but there we go. Right. So in terms of pre and so it is a public method, right? So we have virtual void, pre attribute change, and this is essentially like, oh, this is like things that are handled before like attribute values are actually changed. And I believe the other part of it, if I look at is the virtual void post gameplay effect execute. Oh, whoopsie daisy. And of course we need the super function calls for this. If data dot evaluated data, right, there is a thing that I need. It's so net Unreal Network. Is it gameplay effects extension? So include ability system blueprint, blueprint library, and then include, oh whoops, I did not mean to do that. Include game framework / character.h, just to make sure that all of that is there and ready for our use. There we go, right. So what we do here is if data.evaluated data dot attribute is equal to get health attribute, and in post gameplay effect execute, essentially stuff that happens like, oh yeah, no, now I remember what this does, what this is used for. Right, so this is to ensure that, when a change is made to, say, a specific attribute, such as health and so on, that it cannot go, like, it can't go above its maximum, and it can't go below 0. That's essentially what this is used for. This ensures that whatever changes are made to an attribute such as health, we cannot exceed a given maximum, which of course will change with like the changes to the player's max health if possible, and or go lower than absolute 0. And this makes sure that this doesn't happen, because otherwise it kind of say that we were taking damage as the player. I should probably illustrate this. Let me grab my drawing tablet, because this has been a little bit coming. Like, not a long time coming, but you know, it's found its time, it's found its reason, it's found its purpose. So we're gonna do this. So I'm gonna open the thing. I'm gonna do the thing here. Right. So, for example, say this is player. And I'm sorry I'm not drawing Ratman from memory. I would if I wanted to take a bit longer with this, but I do want to get through this and get back to sorting the code out. So, say we have the player, and then they get damaged from, like, say, an explosion or something like that. So, the player gets damaged, and then their health goes down. So, for example, we're just going to draw the bar and say... like, this scribbled in part is like where it is now, and this is like a chunk that's just gone missing. If they kept taking damage like over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, eventually their health would visually reach 0, right? Eventually their health would visually reach 0. However, like, without the use of like proper like keeping track of lives and whatnot, although it doesn't really seem necessary, this is just a case of making things robust at the very least. If the player kept taking damage while their health bar was visually 0, then it wouldn't change. As I already noted, it doesn't like go like the progress bar meter fill doesn't go in. It doesn't go inverted. There's no way for it to go in or to become inverted. It just stays empty. However, and this is a very big however, we would start getting negative values. So I already stated that I gave the player 5 hits. So if they were at 0 health and they get hit, it would go to -1, and then -2, and then -3, and then so on. And that's without essentially constraining that health attribute value between 0 and whatever the player's current maximum health is. And what we're essentially doing in post-gameplay effect execute is we're essentially saying, hey, we're going to take this new value that we have from like whatever damage effect has taken place on the player, and we're just going to make sure that it stays within those guidelines. If it somehow goes like to -1, like even a small fraction, if that were even possible with how I'm calculating damage, we just bring that back to 0. Although it may not seem necessary, considering the fact that when the player's health reaches 0, they die anyway, it is more of a case of, what if a weird thing happens and the player doesn't immediately die and they just sort of go to negative health, but they're still alive? Like, this is to make sure that things stay at 0 when they lose all their health. And when it comes to like healing any damage that they've taken, this also essentially makes sure that they can't go above their max health. If they try to heal any more, then it will just boop, confine it to within that maximum range. If that makes sense for either chat or anyone watching things back, because you know, you never know. You may get it, you may not get it. Right, so, explanation over. Back to what I was doing before with this. Right, so we check the get health attribute, and if it is the health that we are looking at in this case, then we call, because we are in the attribute set, we just call set health, because we have an attribute accessor for, oh, I did not mean to put a breakpoint there. But we do have an attribute accessor for for set health. And that's based on like this gameplay attribute data here, if you don't remember that. So we have get health or set health, and what we do here is we use fmath clamp, and this essentially takes what value we're passing in, so get health, and then it takes a minimum, which will be 0 in this case, and then it will take a maximum, which is get max health. And then that's pretty much it for, like, once the gameplay effect has been executed. Though it would still be wise to also do hold on. No. It would still be wise for doing the pre-attribute change as well. Because although post-gameplay effect execute does sort things at the other end, it's also good to make sure that we have this front end covered as well. So if attribute is equal to get health attribute, so meaning if the gameplay attribute that is passed in through here is this one that we're using from get health attribute, then we essentially just say new value equals fmath clamp, and we're essentially doing the same as before. We're throwing in the new value here, we're setting the minimum to 0 and the maximum to get max health. And now I'm realizing that because this is essentially where, oh, like, this is where our health is, like, being so-and-so and so-and-so, there would probably also be worth having a thing in here, probably a delegate or something along those lines, which... Oh, sorry. If need be, we would essentially subscribe to that and say, oh, we would check if the health is 0. No, you know what? I could actually kind of start doing that here. So if I say if get health is equal to 0, and this may not be like the ideal place to do it. I haven't gotten too far like back into the online course I was following again, so it may be necessary for me to do that. So if the health is 0, then to do create delegate for 0 health, because then while primarily we would use this for, say, like, for the player and saying, oh, the player has died, reduce how many lives they have and whatnot. We could also use this for the enemy to actually say, the enemy has died, so please do make sure that the enemy dies properly, even though in some cases we already just handled this by destroying the enemy and whatnot, and I feel like I may need to adjust things to work with how we have things set up in its entirety. So, I'm trying to think. I've literally done it in here, and now I need to refresh my memory on how to set up a delegate again. Sorry, chat and people watching things back. I'm a bit scatterbrained today. Right, so oh yep, no, declare multicast delegate one param. So and I don't know if I pass a parameter. Probably not. Declare multicast delegate. God. F. F no health remaining. Yeah, F no health remaining, and then we're gonna throw it in the public section. Oh wait, I just realized the problem. I just realized this problem. Right. So let's go back into Clip Studio to actually illustrate the problem that I just realized that we'd be having if I was to do it this way. So so, the one thing that I need to remind people of with multicast delegates, or delegates in general, is that whenever a multicast delegate or whatever is broadcasted to, so for example, we have this no health remaining delegate that we just made, for example. So when we broadcast it to, or broadcast to it, when we broadcast to it, so when broadcast to, all bound objects respond. So, regardless of whether or not, like, we're trying to essentially signal to the player that they've died and that they lose a life from the attribute set, or, like, we're trying to signal to the enemy that, oh, they've died and we need to destroy them and whatnot, even if we're only trying to, say, do this to a specific object that subscribes to that delegate, it will still broadcast to all the objects that are subscribed to it. So for example, every enemy and also the player, if we were to use this. And this would be problematic because if the enemy was to lose all of their health and die, then not only would it destroy all the other enemies within the level, it would also essentially trick the game into thinking, oh, the player has died, so we're going to take one of their lives away and we're going to reset the level. And that's not what we want to happen. So, while delegates may seem like a good solution to a good chunk of things, it is not always the case. So, at the moment, we don't have a good way of trying to essentially safely pass to the, like, say, the player, like, player state or player attributes, or just anything that either the player has died or or an instance of an enemy has died, and so on and so forth. So, at the moment, we're kind of stuck with that, if that makes sense. I will say, though, at the very least, within this first hour, we've sorted out, like, the problem of making sure, like, the values are clamped, and also remembering the whole chain of how things happen with this system, because it had been a while since I properly sort of looked at the entire implementation of how this information is passed from like the attribute set to the UI and how it's acted upon with gameplay effects and such. So this is good. This is good. Hmm. Right. Oh yeah, ad break. Right. Catch you in a few minutes, chat. Sorry about that. Whoops. There we go, that was the correct one. Right, welcome back, chat. So yeah, so using multicast delegates is not going to be our preferred solution for this little problem. So we're going to need to find another way of doing this, otherwise it will cause problems with things in the long run. So in actuality, we do not want this at all. So we're going to get rid of this. And perhaps this is the consequence of using a single attribute set that essentially can be representative of all, like, characters and whatnot, like player or enemy and so on. So if I go into the player state, looking at player state, so now I remember that we have a lives count thing, but I don't know. Implementations not found. Go to this is the ITP lives interface, right? I have to wonder. Right, so first things first, I'm going to close the engine, recompile it so we have these changes with like the clamping of values and such. Now the real issue is the fact that I'm trying to figure out how... I should probably look at the lecture list for the online course to see roughly how far away I would be from being able to... Okay, apparently it's pretty far. Oh boy. And the problem is that, according to Udemy, I am not even a quarter of the way there. I'm almost a quarter of the way there, but not, you know... Ouch. Right. The project's back open again. And the only real change would be checking, like, the ability, like the debug ability, show debug ability system. So in terms of, like, the player... Right, so that is good. Right. See, this is turning into a real conundrum for me, because... I guess, to be fair, I could just, like, move on to trying to make sure, like... What's it called? The thingamajiggy, the... Oh, God, what's it called? The collectibles. The collectible counts actually work. That's what I mean. Right. I don't know why it took me so long to think about that. That's odd. Sorry about that. Anyway, so if we review our overlay widget controller, I'm going to make a separate thing and say... To be fair, I can't really broadcast, like, an initial value from a thing for the player. Unless... Hold on. If I look at... Right, there we go. So if I remember that original save, unless I got rid of it, I might have gotten rid of it. Oh yeah, no, save the game. Get born. I could. So, I could do that, right. So, in the overlay widget controller, where are you? There you are. One param f on root collected signature int new root count, and then essentially the same, but we're going to call it on cheese collected signature, and then this will be new cheese count. And then we make a blueprint assignable. But here we don't make it gas attributes category, we just make it say off F on root collected signature on root collected, and then same under here. We do player collectibles. Oh, the gamer. Hello, heater. And then we do F on cheese collected signature on cheese collected. So those delegates are all set up, and then we go in here, we do the thingy here, say on. Oh wait, actually, it's ATP player state. Yep, ATP player state. Yeah, I'm sorting out UI bits and whatnot. If I... Hold on, let me comment that out and recompile. At the moment, it's basic. Like, I don't have, like, all the actual visuals and whatnot all sorted out at the moment, but it's just the basic, like, functionality stuff that I'm getting out of the way first. Right. So, project's open. Right. So, the only functioning part of it at the moment is the health. I'm trying to figure out with how I have things set up, how I'm going to do lives and send the information back without, like, calling everything. But yeah, it's starting to take shape now, rather than just being, like, a small thing. But, like, health works. Health ticks down. I don't know if I want to have, like, a little ghost trail effect, like, when the player takes damage, so, like, it has, like, a little bit in the background that sort of slowly follows along with it. It might make it look a bit more, like, a little less stiff, in a way, but health is sorted out. I'm trying to sort out, like, the collectible counts. With lives, I know that's going to take a bit more of a workaround, considering how I have, like, things set up with the health in general. But doing the collectibles seems like it's going to be the easy part here between those and lives. So, whoopsie daisy. It's... would it be get world or EU gameplay star? Hold on, let me refer to get player save control. Right, it would be get player can. So how would this get world? What's your health system going to be like? Because Spyro has the Firefly, yeah, and Banjo has the Honeycombs. And with Mario 64, Mario has, like, a standard, like, life meter, and the same thing kind of goes for Super Mario Odyssey as well. At the moment, yeah, he has the wheel. To be fair, they both have the wheels in Mario Odyssey and 64, but he has more in 64. And then get on, and then get the watermelon. And if this fails, then it will crash anyway. So... Oh wait, no, actually, I don't need to get a thing from that. I could just send 0. I can just send 0 as the on fruit collected dot broadcast 0. And then on cheese collected dot broadcast 0. Ouch. Right. So at the very least, I get those set up, and I'm gonna get the widget blueprint bit side of things set up. So boom 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 boom. So widgets, collectibles. To be fair, I don't need to do it here. Wait. Widgets. Oh wait, no, because it's right. Collectibles. Have cheese count. We go in here. And then if I take a look at where we have health. So on widget controller set. So I need to set up so event widget controller set. We get sequence. So we do one thing after another rather than do like multiple things at the same time, rather than one thing, then the next thing, and then the next thing. So in the health bar, we make sure that we set the BP overlay widget controller variable, even though that's not always necessary, but it is helpful here. I should probably also go into collectible count base just to add variables that I can share. And then I also want the function for setting the text as well. So we go here. So set collectible count text. So the end goal would be to get collectible count. Set font in. Is it in font info split? No, wait, no, that's not it. Right, set text, that's what it is. Right, so the end goal would be to set the collectibles text. So append, oh wait. No, that's not it. String append, that's it, and then we convert it to text. Right. So what we take in is new collectible count. We take in an integer, and then we throw that in there, convert it to a string, and then we just do that. Right. Ouch. Right. Cool. Right. So first we get widget controller set BP overlay widget controller. We need to cast that to was it BP overlay widget? Yeah, cast to BP overlay widget controller. Right. So first we do that, make sure that the actual overlay widget controller is recognized here. Then the next part, according to this, is to bind. I don't need the third pin. I can remove this execution pin, but we need to bind to the event. So get BP overlay widget controller, bind to event on cheese collected. On cheese collected event. So when we do that, we essentially call set collectible count text, and then we just pass this through. Right. So at the moment, in its current state, or in the state before this, right, let me actually disconnect this before we do anything else, just to essentially do a before and after, just to prove that things are working. So at the moment, it just has this placeholder text. It just says 20,000. There's just a placeholder text. It doesn't actually do or mean anything. It is just kind of there just to show that, oh, there is a UI, there is a heads-up display, there is something visual on the screen and whatnot. So now if I connect this to the execution pin, it is now set to 0 as its initial value. Although, if we were loading the game, we may not necessarily want this, though there'll probably be a way of sorting this out later down the line. I can essentially just copy this code, or copy whatever I've done in the cheese count widget blueprint for the fruit count as well. So we have essentially both on the same, both the same value on both sides of things. So just going to quickly blitz through that and do now. So on event widget controller set. So I'm going to control this bit. No, control this bit. Copy this bit. I was thinking of the widget controller and then thought, ooh, control this bit. Ooh, wee. Oh wait, I need the sequence. I need the sequence. So sequence. This. And then BP overlay widget controller. And then bind to on fruit collected. Custom event on fruit collected event. and then that will do the same for the fruit count. So now they're both set to 0, which is very nice. I know it's awfully spaced out at the moment. I do want to adjust it a bit so it's not so, like, far from it, because it does look kind of awkward now that it's, like, not set to a ridiculously large value for the sake of making sure it, like, displays on the screen. I will sort that out. It will be tweaked and it will look better than it currently does. I'm going to quickly grab a thing from the kitchen. I will be right back. Just a few moments, chat. There we go. There I am. I'm back. Right. New drink has been gotten. Other stuff has been gotten from kitchen too. So... Right. So, now that we know that, at the very least, the initial value has been broadcast from the thing to the thing, there is the matter of trying to set up how the hell we communicate between the player state, which is where, like, the actual cheese and fruit count is stored, and how we properly communicate that to the HUD. And also, bear in mind that this is essentially for the basic functionality of making sure things work. Once we've gotten this sorted out, I do want to do, like, the whole little, like, HUD animations of having things appear and then disappear off the screen when we need it and don't need it. Much like how Banjo-Kazooie and Spyro and whatnot handle that. I do appreciate those neat little details at the very least, because the screen isn't being cluttered too much. It just means that things are displayed when they're needed, and for the rest of the time when they're not needed, you just have, like, most if not all the real estate of the screen to yourself. So it's a neat little thing that I really appreciate. But in terms of stuffs... Oh. I don't think I want a boss theme. What does the Dynamite sound like? Oh, it was this thing. I'll go Cloud Spires again. Right. So, go back into the code. So we have this sorted out. I mean, of course, it would have to be, like, binding callbacks to dependencies, but how we do this is going to be very weird. So I don't need attribute set open. I don't need save subsystem open because I was checking things out. To be fair, I do probably need the H file for the player state, so throw that there. And right. Unless I made delegates within the player state. I feel like that could be a way, but it also might not work. Let me think. So, say... I'll do... Right, this is where I'll have to do what I was trying to do, originally going to do earlier before I realized, oh wait, I can just broadcast 0 as an initial value. So, ATP player state pointer player state was cast checked TP player, ATP player state. So it's going to be get world, get first player controller, get pawn, get player state. And this is so long, but yo, put Dark Souls style rolling in the game. Maybe for the for a hypothetical sequel, I'd change things up entirely. Also, hi Nick. So I just realized that's max health change. I'm so why? I never noticed that. Never mind. The max pain bullets. Oh, good lord. God. Right, so void. Fruit collected. And make it a Grim Utopia punk setting? At that point, it may as well just be the second Jak and Daxter game. And essentially have it just be GTA. So we've got... Wait a minute. Of course you heard GTA. Also, thank you here. Of course you heard GTA. I am not surprised that you heard GTA. Wait. Why not make your rap Oh my god. Mr. Bombastic. I fucking love Barnyard. I love Barnyard. Good movie. Give it up for Piggy Cheese. So I made them... Now that I think about it, I may actually need to make them a... Yeah. A... 1 param multicast delegate. 1 param. Int 32. New. Root. Can we get Biggie Cheese performing on the side? I'm not sure. As I realized I didn't put that stuff there. Hold on. Let me find... Give me a moment. Hold on. You... Anyway, what was I doing again? Oh yeah, no, I remember now. Biggie Cheese, no. Okay, Jesus. I'm trying to find a good one. Ah, come on. Why can't I find a good GIF? They're all the same loop. I'm just gonna have to find one which is essentially just... Oh, it's a fucking WebP. There we go. Wait, no. I'm better than this. I can find a good one. Please tell me this is a gift. Thank you. I'll accept Biggie Cheese or that gif of Mario rapping. Did I make sure to purchase WinRAR that I did not? To be fair, I haven't needed WinRAR for years. Your 40-day free trial is expired. Right. There you go. Biggie Cheese. I have given you Biggie Cheese. I should also rename this to Biggie Cheese in case I need to move this into the other overlays. There we go. Biggie Cheese. I'm hoping... I don't know. Either I remember that this is here, or I completely forget that this is here. I stream tomorrow and then realize, wait, what the fuck is Biggie Cheese doing on my overlay? But yeah, no, Right, so we were making this a 1 param instead of just a void delegate, then go into the thingamajiggy here. Wait, what? Cannot resolve symbol get born. Does that mean I need to... He had so much charisma to my streams. Wait, so why was it saying... Oh, I have no idea. This being odd, I suppose. Oh wait, I don't think I made... No, I didn't make the variables for it. Whoops! You should try playing an underrated artist like JJ. I don't know who that is! Open assignable... Oh wait, that's in the overlay. Play some of his work. Wait a minute. Masterful performance artist. Wait a minute. I'm confused. Right, anyway. Right, I need to make this an F on cheese collected and call it no, on cheese collected, not cheese collected, on cheese collected, and then F on fruit collected, on fruit collected. Shared it in the music channel on this. All right, right. Just a moment. Oh, good lord. Oh, good heavens. So add dynamic. Okay, so that... Wait, what do you mean expect? Wait, hold on. Can you add in a dedicated therapy that opens the BetterHelp website? I could. I could. I feel like I could. Right, so let me comment that out for the time being, because I need to figure out... I need to refresh my memory on that, the multi... F1 cheese collected. It's... Yeah, because these are also 1 params. So if I look at... add... Is it expecting an expression? Oh wait, no, it's add dynamic, and then it's this. And then it's... Not while we use function macro. Right, I forgot about that. Right. See, I am debating the setting, like, and I have debated like different like world themes and ideas and whatnot when I was doing like enemy concept art a few weeks ago. I have ideas in mind, but I haven't sort of like fully settled on ideas, if that makes sense, because I don't want to like lock in one idea and think, oh wait, this isn't going to be so good of an idea, and then like not enjoy trying to make something out of it. So it's just kind of like I kind of have loose ideas, but I haven't sort of fully locked in like the ideas that I want to sort of go for yet, if that makes sense. The province of Cyrodiil in April year 200. Can I bind a lambda? Right. Oh, wait. It's weird. Can we have Biggie Cheese as an in-game NPC, largest cheddar? I don't think I'd be able to directly use him, but I get the feeling I could make a parody. Because, you know, parodies are fine. Parodies would be fine, so I could do that. I could do a parody. Ginormous Gorgonzola. Enormous Edam. That could work. Ooh, right. Notorious. See, that would make the most sense. That would make the most sense. Right, so how do I... How do I bind a lambda to a delegate? Right. You can bind a function or a lambda to a non-dynamic delegate using one of the bind. Also, ad break starts in about 2.5 minutes. Chat. So instead of a dynamic multicast delegate, oh, hold on one moment. Advertisements. I must try and get. Hey. Right, let's do just a regular multicast delegate and not a dynamic one. Let's see. So new fruit count, new cheese count, and in here at the moment we have this stuff. So now that this is a normal delegate and not a normal multicast and not a dynamic, I can now bind a lambda or add a lambda function or lambda statement to this. Right. So this No. Do not think of Half-Life Heater. bastard. Oh, ad break starting. We will be back in a few minutes, chat. So hang on tight until then. Right, and we're all back now. Hello again, chat. I have gotten grapes, so I'm going to be slowly munching on those as I try and wrap my head around stuff with how I'm sorting this out. Okay, actually, I might have worked it out. Uh, oh, whoops, stop broadcast. Anyway, it's kind of funny, like, finishing Ventus's story on, like, Birth by Sleep or level 1 and starting Terra's, and where we wrapped off in the Snow White world, considering the fact that, apparently, to no one's surprise, with the Snow White live-action remake, the Snow White live-action remake, it is terrible. And I am not bloody surprised about that one bit, considering the fact that all live-action remakes that Disney has made is terrible. There we go. It's like, I don't understand why. Like, it feels so unnecessary. Like, of course it's money, and we're preying on the nostalgia of people who grew up with our animated movies and making them think, oh, this is the new way, the best way to experience those classics, when really it's just shite. And it's just a waste. It's such a waste. Here you could actually attempt to, like, push, like, the boundary of shit, like, of animation and whatnot, and then you just choose not to. And then we do this, player state. Add lambda. Cheese count. And that means I don't need these two other methods anymore, so I can get rid of them. Right. For all intents and purposes, this should hopefully work. So we're going to close the project, and then we're going to recompile. Okay, that's player state.h. Okay, so it failed. Too many arguments for function like macro invocation, declare multi-pack. Player state hides class member. Wait, what? CPP 30. What? Ah. Right. Right, that's what went wrong. Okay, so I know it's still going to throw up the other errors, but we're just going to get these ones out of the way first. Yep, too many arguments for function like macro invocation, declare multicast delegate 1 param. Hold on. Right, I don't think... Right, so apparently there doesn't even need to be... a name for these parameters. Okay, let's try this again now that we've gotten rid of those. Now that we've learned the actual signature for the declare normal multicast delegate stuff. There we go! We compiled! Right. And now we know. We have learned. Righty-ho. Project's open, project's recompiled, so now the moment of truth. At the moment, everything is currently... I also realized that Biggie Cheese is not on the overlay here. Add existing, Biggie Cheese. There we go. Right. Cool. Right. So, at the moment, we have 0 cheese and 0 fruits. So, when we pick up the cheese, it should update the HUD. And it did! it updated the HUD. We now have 1 cheese. And now if I pick up the fruit, we have 1 fruit. So now that side of things is functioning, except for when we load into a save and we don't update the counts when, or at the moment it currently doesn't update the thing on the fruit and stuff counts when we load in. However, that is a quick fix. So if we go back into the code, we go back into the player state, and the game is loaded, we load the collectible maps, and then here at the bottom I'm going to say on cheese collected dot broadcast, we'll throw in cheese count, and then on fruits collected dot broadcast, and we're going to throw in fruit count, so that when we load into a save, it automatically populates the collectible counts with what we need them to display. And of course, I'm going to close the project, and then I'm going to recompile it again, just so we have this little change reflected. Also, I like grapes. Grapes are good. Grapes are lovely. Don't like them when they're too crunchy. Don't like them when they're too like soft and soggy. But there's like a little middle ground which is just nice. If that makes sense. There is a middle ground which is nice. Ouch. Right. So now that we've made that change, that won't really be noticeable now, but that will be noticeable when, hold on, actually, I may as well actually test this out within like an actual gameplay context. So we go into maps, into main menu, we go here, start, create a new save. Now, if we go here, collect the cheese, we have 1 cheese. Collect the fruit, we have 1 fruit. If we do press 2, even though there's no message, we know that it is saving stuff. We quit, go here, load, and we load into slot 1. We load our previous cheese and fruit count, which is perfect. That is what we want here. I'm pretty happy with that. So, the next thing to sort out, and by far probably the hardest part of this, because of how things are set up for health, is lives. And I don't know if I want to tackle that at the moment until I know how we're going to, like, check, like, with, like, the attribute set and the ability system component, how we check how the player has died. Considering the fact that However, hold on. Actually, no, never mind, I can't. My head's empty. I thought I had something, but I just, I lost it. I lost it completely. Right. Okay. Oh, actually, I need to take my stuff. So, just a moment, chat. I will say though, I have been enjoying Xenoblade Chronicles X for like the past few days I've been playing it. Like, I haven't gotten too far, considering the fact that I know that a lot of the emphasis in that game does appear to be doing all, like, the side content, like, doing the missions, doing the affinity missions, doing, like, finding all the, like, little data probes on the map to map out, like, where things are within different segments of the map. And, you know, trying to do, like, a whole bunch of other stuff and exploring. And I've been enjoying the whole, like, exploration part of it, because I'm gonna be honest, for the most part, before I decided to move on with, like, one or two of the chapters in the game, I just decided, you know what, I'm going to run around this boundless world that Monolith Soft has given me, because they have given me this space, and I'm going to try and see what I can find. And I don't regret doing that, because I have been exploring so much, and it's crazy. It's like, it's a huge world, like a huge world map, and normally, depending on like the game, that would be incredibly cumbersome to sort of like navigate, but it feels like very fun to explore because you can sprint and you can jump really high. You can essentially just act like a mountain goat and just hop across like hills and mountains as you're trying to explore and find all these other things, and I like that a lot. I don't have the scale in the game at the moment, which is essentially the giant mechs for people who don't know. I don't have that yet, and I hope I get that soon, because it will make finding some of the spots a bit easier, but I get the feeling that may or may not be limited to like combat and stuff. I don't know. It's my first time playing X. I will say though, I am very unsure about Tatsu, the Nopon that you meet very early on in the game. I'm not sure that I like him. And here's me thinking that, oh hey, it's a Nopon, he's gonna be fun, but Ricky's great. Tora is questionable. Tatsu is... And then Riku's Riku from Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is fucking hilarious, because he's a Nopon. You'd expect him to have like a fairly like mid to high range voice. No, this motherfucker has the deepest voice, and also has hair. Like, he doesn't have like a normal like plume of fur and fluff like most Nopon. Hold on, let me get a picture of Riku from Xenoblade Chronicles 3 just to illustrate to people in chat who may not know. Give me a moment. There we go. This is the Nopon Riku from Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Do you notice that he just has fucking this hair on the top of his head? Like, do you notice this? Like, people in chat watching things back, do you notice this hair on his head? And how odd it looks and how hilarious it is. Like, why does he have this hair? And he has such a deep voice too. Like, in English, he has such a deep voice. But I think that's what makes me like him, because he looks and sounds kind of ridiculous. But it's funny. Also, this fuck-ass calls himself a common variety Nopon. Mild spoilery ruse for Xenoblade Chronicles 3, but he really isn't a common variety Nopon. He is not a common variety Nopon. There's a big spoilery reason why he's not a common variety Nopon. But yeah, no, this is one of the two Nopon that you travel with in Xenoblade Chronicles 3. The other one's Manana. I like Manana, she's very sweet. I'm just trying to find... Of course, you'd say Yuji. I understand that it looks kind of similar to Yuji's hair. I can kind of see what you mean here. Yeah, no, motherfucker really isn't a common variety, Nopon. I don't believe him. But yeah, no, back to what I was saying before about Xenoblade Chronicles X and Tatsu, the Nopon that you meet in that game. I'm not sure I like him. But I don't know if my opinion will change. We'll see, but but honestly, I'm just generally enjoying Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I want to get through more of it, like more of the side content and more of the story as well. Also, it being the one Xenoblade game that it's very different in terms of its setting, and 2, being the one Xenoblade game where you have a creator character is also very interesting too. I've in the group chat, I've already talked about this, like in friend group chat and whatnot, kind of like but it is funny that with your creator character you could just give him Shulk's voice, like Shulk's voice actor. You can Shulk's voice actor lended his voice as one of like the selectable voices for the male creator character, and you could also give like the male creator character Shulk's hair from Definitive Edition. So I just made essentially mini Shulk, but not Shulk because he's got a scar on his mouth. But yeah, no, enough of me rambling. The thing that I'm trying to figure out is how the hell I'm going to sort out lives with the HUD. Because, as of now, if I go back to third person map, just to sort of go over things again, just briefly. Of course we have the health. Health is working. Then with the collectibles, we collect cheese, that goes up by 1. We collect fruit, that goes up by 1. And we already tested that if we were to load into a previous save, where we have already collected fruit and cheese, then it retains the information and sends it to the HUD when we need it, which is great. That is great. That is what we need. However, the one problem is the lives itself and how we have things set up. If I go back into Rider, also close the project, so in case I make any adjustments to the code, I can just recompile and whatnot. So, looking at player state. So, within the player state, we have the ability system component and the attribute set. And then... that's ability actor info set. So, where is... oh, sorry. Oh, gosh. Ugh. So... attribute set. So, at the moment, within the attribute set, we have pre-attribute change. I should actually go into reading the proper definitions instead of trying to talk basically out of my own ass. Oh wait, pre-attribute change. Which is essentially clamping before like the actual change, and then post gameplay effect execute is like after all additional changes are made, like with an attribute, after all like additional effects are applied to it. And then, as I said before, we're clamping this between 0 and the player's max health, or whatever max health the object has, because this won't necessarily be the player. This will probably be the enemy as well, because the attribute set is used universally to whatever object, to essentially whatever object this attribute set belongs to. Sorry about that. My brain froze for a moment. Oh, never a good sign. Never a good sign when the brain starts to freeze. So, as I looked into earlier, originally I had considered using a delegate for when whatever object has its health attribute set to 0. However, I briefly explained why this would not be a good idea. So, here I would say, for example, the delegate I was going to use, I was going to call it no health remaining, or F no health remaining, or whatever. This, of course, would be called from the attribute set class whenever, like, whatever object has its health reduced to 0, Now, the problem is that with multicast delegates, or with delegates in general, whatever you bind to that delegate, whenever that delegate is calls its broadcast method, it will broadcast to everything that's bound to it. So, for example, say that, like, for sake of argument, say that, for example, we have an enemy, and we hit them enough times, either with a projectile, or we charge into it, and we've reduced its health to 0. Now, if we were not using this delegate and we just destroyed an enemy individually, like without using the delegate or anything along those lines at all, then that would be perfectly fine. In fact, we could probably do that. However, I would want to try and maybe use like the attribute set with the enemies as well in the event that we have bosses and whatnot and we need to reduce their health bit by bit rather than instantly kill them. So, yeah, no, that's why we would need to use this. However, since we are going to be using the attribute set, the reason why this would be a problem is because when that broadcast is made, it broadcasts to everything that's bound to it. If an enemy reaches 0 health, and in the event that like their version of the broadcast is, oh, we're going to destroy this object, every enemy that's bound to it, and there will be a lot of enemies bound to it, would all get destroyed at once. And in addition to that, if we had the player bound to this, in a way, and by default they probably would be, then the game would be tricked into thinking that the player had died as well, so we would lose a life. Which is not what we want. So, the thing I'm trying to figure out here, for the lives at the very least, is trying to make sure that we have things set up in a way that we're still using the attribute sets, but we're also able to only communicate that, oh, the player has died, or an individual enemy has died, or so on and so forth. And it's a bit odd, so I may need to also, like, search that up on the internet as well, just while I'm trying to sort of rack my brain with this, because otherwise I'm not going to get this done. Though this is not too much of like a, "Arr, I need to get it done." It's just a case of, it would be nice to get this sorted out. If that makes sense. Okay, so let me think. There is also the possibility of asking in, like, Unreal servers as well. I'm also probably going to, let me think, I'll recompile the project so we can get it open again, and then going to also open up that other project. Where is it? Where is the Epic Games launcher? Because it has disappeared! Yippee! It's disappeared. Also, I can't believe that it's almost 2 weeks until... No, wait, no, it's not almost 2 weeks. Hold on. It's almost a week until the Minecraft movie releases in cinemas. I'm... Did I open it? Yeah, no, I did. Right. Okay, so the thing I am wanting to sort out now is I know this is like a minor little tweak on the UI, and it may not necessarily be a good idea, considering the fact that, hey, maybe I fully changed this, you know, going forward. But I'm doing this for the time being so that things look a little less stiff. UI... Wait, that's... Blueprints, UI... Oop, right. Okay, there we go. Right, so if I go into game, into blueprints, widgets, health bar. So what this will require, I believe, it requires another progress bar underneath. Yeah, it requires another progress bar underneath. So if I duplicate, I can't duplicate it, never mind. So we make another progress bar that sits... Oh, it can't, right, widget can't have children. Right, I need to make an overlay. Oh wait, no, I can wrap it with an overlay. Right, there we go. Cool. So now we add the progress bar, and we have it sit underneath. I also fear that I've made this... Right, what repercussions will this have for my health bar? Oh, good lord, what the hell have I done? So width and height overrides still exist. It all looks blurry and now. Right, I just need to make both of them fill. $300 by 100, yeah. Right, there we go, better. So this is going to be health bar ghost. Now, as I said, this is a minor visual thing that I'm doing. As I said, it may not necessarily stick around because I may change how the UI will look in, or I say I will change how the UI looks entirely. But I'm just doing this now just so it doesn't look so stiff when I'm, you know, testing things out and whatnot. So I'm gonna add a float, call it ghost bar delay. I'm gonna make it a float. We're gonna add a delay. Ghost bar. Wait, I did not mean to create an event dispatcher. I was in the wrong section. So got ghost bar, ghost percent target, and then ghost interp speed. Right. And then we set the ghost percent target to be this percent value that we receive in health bar percent set. Oh, good lord. Oh, sorry about that, chat. So we got the event tick here, and the thing we're going to do in event tick is we need to, I mean, first things first, we need a new function. We need set ghost progress bar percent, and this is essentially setting that little ghost bar that is behind the main health bar visual. So we're gonna, oh wait, I actually need to add the percent as an input. So before I do anything else, add percent as an input. And the end goal during tick is to call this. So what we do is we take the delta time, so we need f interp2, and we're going to interpolate between what is currently the current percent of the ghost progress bar. So get this, get percent. So we're interpolating from this current percent value. So we're gonna move. Oh, god damn it! I'm trying to drag this down, not drag something off of it. So delta time goes into this slot. Interp speed is going to be the ghost interp speed that we made. And then our target is our ghost percent target. And then whatever that current value is during the tick function is thrown into here. Okay? So we're going to throw that into there. Then in the actual so in the actual method itself, it is a very short and sweet method. We get health bar ghost, and we just set percent, and we just pass percent into the bar's percent. Okay? Now, in set health bar percent, that is set, and then also I'm going to set the ghost bar percent to be, I believe it's new percent if we're just initializing it. So health bar ghost, set percent, and then get new percent, because we were only initializing it, we're not setting like a new target for it at the moment. And then we just do that down here. So I understand it a bit more now that I've sort of refreshed my memory on it, if that makes sense. So looking at, so a 0.5 second delay. Oh, whoops, not where I meant to be. So a 0.5 second delay, and then for interp speed, maybe just 1 to start off with, because I feel like that's a fairly sort of standard, like, balanced kind of speed, if that makes sense. It's not too much, it's not too slow, it works for what it is. So this should work for all intents and purposes. We're going to test this out now, chat, and people watching things back. So we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way and have the enemy hurt us. Okay, that doesn't seem right. Is there something I'm missing? So set health bar. The health bar initialized, so if it's false, it goes down there. Of course, which is understandable. There's something I'm clearly missing. Oh wait, I'm so silly. I'm so goddamn silly. I forgot to... No, wait, no, I didn't. I didn't forget to feed it in. I fed it in. Percent set, percent initialize. Oh wait, set. And also, I may need to actually set a color for this thing. How do I get... Oh, the background image. Right. That's how. Right. So now if I adjust this... Yep, now we can see this. I also couldn't see it in the first place because of the background image of the normal bar. Right, so now we know. Right, so with the health bar ghost, for the fill color... I'm going to take this and then make it a bit darker. Oh, wait, no, that is the normal health bar. Right, so for normal health bar, well, that's health bar ghost. I want to make it darker. So, drag it down here. That seems about right. So now... This should work. This should work now that I've actually recognized what the problem was. Okay, so... Hey, there we go. I will say, maybe a 0.5 second delay is a bit too long, in my opinion. So delay, gonna set that to maybe a 0.3%. Oh, God! I can talk a 0.3 second delay. Oh, sorry, chat. Right, but that is neat. Even though it wasn't entirely a necessary thing to do, I'm glad that I got it done, even though there is possibly the chance that later down the line I remove it because, you know, I completely change how the health bar looks in terms of, you know, whether or not it's still a progress bar, or if it's just going to be like a series of pictures like Banjo-Kazooie or something else entirely. Who knows? Right. Okay. So, we've got the health, we've got the collectible counts, but we still need to sort out lives, and I need to figure out how to communicate with, like, an individual, like, character, like, an individual player or an individual enemy about their health from within the attribute set. So... Right. Also, ad breaks start in 2 minutes, chat. Just thought I'd let you know. Alright, what else? Right, there is the matter of doing, like, more of the concept arts bit. Oh, gosh. Ooh. One thing I will say, I can't believe we're almost, like, the UK at the very least, because I know, like, the Americas have already gotten their daylight savings now. I can't believe we're almost, like, at that point where we have daylight savings again. I can't wait to be able to walk around my town in the evening and it still be, you know, light outside, and I don't have to fear possibly getting stabbed. You know? I don't have to fear possibly getting stabbed. Just walking around in the evening. You know, it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. And I much prefer when it's lighter at night. I like it. I like it a lot more. There's a different, there's a wholly different vibe to, like, it's still being light, you know, in the evening, compared to, you know, how it is at the moment where, like, it's still dark for... Sorry? Where it's still dark for a good chunk of the day. Anyway, ads are starting. We will be back in a few minutes. Oh, wait, it was... I don't... I thought I threw up the sign! Apparently I didn't! I forgot. But anyway, welcome back. Right. The only thing I can think of is that we go back to doing concepts and stuff. So... There we go. If we go back to the list, where in the God's name did I put... Where did I put it? I'm trying to find enemy ideas list. There we go. Right. Perfect. Oh. There we go. Right. So, if you... Oh, sorry. In case you don't remember... A while back, I made this list of ideas for enemy types and the themes that they could follow. And the last time I worked on doing some of the enemy concepts, I did a few. I did cat pirate, like cat pirate grunt. Rather than like a big fat cat pirate, we have the cat pirate grunt. And then we also, we had the Western Falcon, which it doesn't look too menacing or imposing, but I do like the idea of bird holding gun. We also had a fantasy dog, which I made a dwarf Viking, kind of. We also have a futuristic weasel. As well as this, we have the medieval snake, which, in my concept, was probably one of my favorites to think of, where it's like a snake that's pretending to be a dragon with like little cardboard horns and cardboard wings, and in terms of it trying to fly, would use like a set of balloons if it was like a flying variant. Which I think is a pretty cute concept. I like it a lot. Or, in actuality, it may not actually be able to fly and it just sort of like hops on the ground to try and imitate flying. I don't know. And then we have the mythological snake, which, in essence, I just made it like a hydra. The mythological snake is just like a three-headed snake, just hydra thing. Which, for the most part, is still fairly basic, like, in terms of design, but maybe in terms of how it behaves, it's different compared to, like, its medieval counterpart. But yes, those were the concepts that I made the last time that I did this. Now, if I wanted to do... Like, this could fit into fantasy, but also could fit into medieval as well, considering, like, you know, like, King Arthur and, like, Merlin and stuff like that. I could make an owl wizard. An owl wizard is an idea that I want to put pen to paper for, so we're going to make an owl wizard. So as I said, it can fit into both. Now, I don't know if it's like a... Barn owls. Right. Oh, it's one of these types of owls. The mildly eerie type of owls. Oh wait, that's the bloody... I thought I'd written the... Oh weird, why does it appear so... Oh, because this one's actually attributed to the data for when it's made, not for when I download... Right. So this owl, the barn owl. I'm probably not gonna, like, in terms of, like, ending, because I know I'm for Game Dev Sundays, depending on how I feel, I normally just end at, like, 12:30 and whatnot, so I probably won't be able to get too much done in terms of, like, enemy concepts, but I'll try and get one or two sort of drafted up. It's a bit lopsided. I know it's only a concept art, and I know it's not supposed to be perfect, but this bugs me. Whoops. So I say that I'll probably only get like one or two done. This is on account of like how like not efficiently practiced I am with art at this point in time. Like I really haven't been getting as much practice of it in as I would like because I've been focusing on like editing and doing other stuff. So, and that's kind of sad because I want to be able to try and focus on art too. it's difficult trying to strike a balance between a lot of things, because you want to try and get one thing done, but you need to get other things done as well, and it's sad, because I love my art. I love doing art. Maybe I'll do an art stream in the coming week, who knows. I need to think a little bit more about that for the rest of the night and stuff. It's not going to be like some elaborate, like, evil wizard kind of thing. Though, I feel like it should definitely be stylized more as, like, an evil wizard in, like, when it comes to actually making it. But, in terms of conceptualizing, like, it's got, like, a little wizard hat, it's got, like, a little wizard robe over its wings and stuff. Like, you have some, like, detail lines for, like, feathers and stuff. Drawn into like the texture and whatnot, of course. You know, not actually made part of like the model, but you know, just drawn and shaded in. Right, so like maybe if because I'm gonna speed this up. Oop, sorry. And the owl has like a staff or a wand that it either raises, like, it will probably just like raise it above its head like so. I just realized I did this on the wrong damn God. I did it on the wrong layer. It's so annoying. Right. And then from the side, we already have like a good vision of like it from the side here, kind of. And I realized I did this not on a separate layer again. I keep doing this, chat. I keep doing it with like forgetting like to do separate layers and stuff. It's and I'd say in this case it only like casts spells, and I don't know if I would say like it casts maybe lightning at the player's spot, so it would either cast lightning at spot, which would be telegraphed to the best of like ability, like my ability and whatnot, or a fireball, you know, good old reliable fireball, which is just, you know, very simplistic to do. Or like a cloud of like gas or frost. Or something that like damages the player gradually. I haven't actually like added detail to like any part of like the robe and or the little cloak and stuff. So I'd say like maybe like until I actually decide to stylize it into like an evil looking like wizard, like stars and stuff, because that's like fairly standard kind of thing. You know, stars for wizards and whatnot. Right, so next one. So we have done, at the very least, we have done a cat enemy, we've done two of like the birds of prey enemies, we've done two snake enemies, we've done a weasel enemy, and we've done a dog enemy. Now, trying to think about it. I may have to actually think about what I do on another stream, because I am starting to feel a little bit sluggish at the moment. So I'm going to call things there for today. So to everyone who showed up and everyone watching things back on the VOD, whether it's here on Twitch or on YouTube, depending on when you're watching this, thank you ever so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Next stream is tomorrow. It is a break stream. However, at the moment, I don't know what we're going to be doing as of yet. But I will figure it out beforehand, and, you know, I'll sort things out. It'll be something fun at the very least. But yes, thank you ever so much for being here. And as always, I shall see you all again in the